I'm sure many of you would agree that as we get older, less mobile or more infirm, that exercise and keeping fit probably takes a lower priority in our lives compared to, say, keeping warm or shopping or, dare I say, watching daytime TV. And there's no doubt that it requires motivation. However, there is a solution that's easy to do. It can be done in a class and at home, and yes, even whilst glued to the television. And it's been proven to have considerable health benefits. In fact, research has shown that it can have a marked improvement on your physical and mental well-being in just a couple of months. Sounds too good to be true? Well, let me introduce you to seated yoga. I'm here in North Essex at the Earls Coombe Recreation Club to speak to Jennifer O'Connell, who runs a seated yoga class here every Thursday. I want to find out more about the benefits. I'm going to take part in the class and also speak to some of the participants after about what they get out of it. Welcome to Grey Matters. Hello and welcome to Grey Matters, the channel that promotes the fact the older generation still matters and looks at issues that matter to the older generation. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and the bell if you want to be notified of our future content. So now, let's go in and see Jennifer. Right, so I'm now here with Jennifer O'Connell to talk about the seated yoga. Do need to point out that you might hear some knocks and bangs. It's because the roof is being fixed and it does echo a bit through here. But anyway, Jennifer, pleased to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you too.
Lovely to see you. Now listen, I don't know anything really about seated yoga. I'm obviously going to find out when the class starts, but what are the benefits exactly?
Sure. So there are the obvious physical benefits of doing a yoga practice, whether it be seated or more traditional, to keep the body flexible and strong. So that's sort of the most obvious layer, if you will. But then I think there's also more of a mental or emotional layer that comes into play. It's just very helpful for people to learn techniques to relax and to deal with stress. And then there's the added bonus of when we come together in a group like this, being with each other and that sort of sense of camaraderie, and just being able to have a little bit of a social time with other people as well, and enjoy each other's company.
Right. Yeah. I said in my introduction that research has shown that seated exercise and seated yoga can have mental and physical benefits within a couple of months. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. We've been running this class now here since it was either the end of September, beginning of October, and I think most of the people were brand new to yoga, well, I'm sure you'll have a chance to speak with them as well, but I can see that it's been a benefit. They seem to really be enjoying it, and getting a lot out of the class.
Are there any restrictions? I mean, can anybody do it of any age or of any ability? Oh yeah,
I think this is in particular, to have the seated option takes a little bit of the pressure off, and no matter what anyone's personal situation is, they're absolutely welcome to come and take part in the class. And I think a big message that I like to get across when I teach is that, and I'll do it in the class today, each person needs to really listen to their body and do what works for them. And if something doesn't work, then they ease off a little bit. And that's really where the real yoga comes in per se, because it's that self-awareness and listening to oneself.
And I mean, yoga is obviously very different to just seated exercise. Do you think it has more benefits over exercise?
I think it's just two different things, really. I think what makes yoga different from just a regular seated exercise class is a sense of mindfulness, if you will, a sense of allowing oneself to quiet down, to have that time to be a bit more introspective. And yoga is not just about the physical, but also about the personal development that we go through comes across naturally when we do our practice.
Right. Tell me a little bit about you. I mean, how did you get into yoga?
So I've been practicing yoga now for about 25 years. So I started when I was in my 20s, and I just really enjoyed it. I was already teaching school at the time, and I thought it would just be a nice addition to my school teaching. So I took a course in the early 2000s and have been taking courses basically ever since then.
Right.
And eventually, when I had my children, left teaching, school, and yoga fit really nicely around having small children, the yoga teaching.
Is this one of those things that even as a teacher you continually learn?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think in any teaching realm, you never stop. You're always learning. You're always a student. And I think, if I can say so, that's what makes a good teacher.
Right.
To be open, to realize that you're still always learning yourself.
Right.
And that also it's a two-way street. So you do come in with your knowledge, but yet you're in a relationship with your students, so to speak. So you're learning from them all the time as well. And I think that's what makes it a really nice dynamic. You know, we're in it sort of together, learning from each other.
Yes. If someone comes here with a physical problem, such as a bad knee or something like that, can it actually help those sort of situations?
I think it really depends on the person and on the particular issue that he or she is having. I'll really suggest strongly that they get the green light first from their doctor to make sure that it's okay to be participating in a yoga class. In a lot of cases, it can be of benefit, but if the energy is more acute, then perhaps there needs to be some healing done first.
Well, I'm a newbie. I'm coming into the class today to see what it's like. Now, as a newbie, if the class has been running for a while, will I have a problem keeping up with what's happening, or do I do it at my own level or pace? I mean, how does that work? Yeah,
sure. It's a good question. I'd like to think that anyone at any point could come into the class and be okay. It's done at a very gentle level. There's a lot of repetition, so the people that have been coming a while sort of know what to expect. But I'm introducing things very slowly, I'd like to think, and deliberately, so that it's quite easy to catch on. It's a very friendly class, so if someone's not sure of what's going on, they can ask a question and get a little clarification. It's just meant to really be, at the end of the day, a friendly and enjoyable experience for people, and to have a little fun, not take ourselves too seriously.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, hope you enjoy it.
I'm sure I will.
Oh, thanks.
What do you find you're getting out of the yoga?
Well, because the last couple of years I've sort of been quite sedentary. I find it brilliant. I mean, I'm, moving again and the joints. And this week, it's probably the best week I've had,
Right.
movement-wise. Little steps, but it's just got me going again and got me out again. And yeah, I just find it really nice. A nice bunch of people. I mean, yeah, it's been really useful.
Awesome.
Just to get moving again. And as I say, coming to this has been really, really good.
Smashing. Thank you. How do you find the classes?
I like it. I mean, I've
Yeah.
never done yoga before,
Yeah.
but I always thought we've done a lot of sport, more like badminton, squash,
Right.
more movement, and I always thought, a bit. But I quite like it. When you get older, it's nice doing the relaxing.
That's it, and you're still getting the benefits, although you're
Yeah.
not running around everywhere.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. I found that really good. I've got a partial knee replacement and I've had a back issue for years. None of the exercises caused any issues on that, and in fact some of them, particularly the stretching ones, I actually felt some benefit from that. How do you sort of judge if the class has been successful for the people that have come here?
I can tell from the expressions on their faces. And when people leave with a smile on their face, I know it's been, for them, a positive experience and they've gotten something out of the class. And you can just feel like, I don't know, there's just like a really friendly vibe at the end of the class when everyone seems to have truly enjoyed it. And each other's company. And
There were a lot of smiling faces at the end, and people stopping to chat as well. So
I think that's a big part of
yes.
it. As I mentioned in our chat earlier, just to come together as a group and to be with people in a social situation, especially after the isolation that we've all been through. And in particular, I know the older generation really had to isolate very much. So I just think it's so nice to be here and appreciate each other's company, really.
Yeah, well, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much for
thank
letting me
you.
take part in it.
Thanks, it's a pleasure to have you.
You never know, maybe we get some more
Yeah, it'd be great.
class members
Everyone's
for you.
welcome.
So there you go, everything you needed to know about seated yoga. Whether it's right for you or not, of course, depends on you. But if you fancy having a go, why not find a local class to you? Or if you live in or near Earlscombe, pop along to the Earlscombe Rec and give that a look. If you're more interested in seated exercise, well, I'll be having a look at that in the near future. So keep an eye open for that video. In the meantime, don't forget to press the like, subscribe and notification buttons. And I will see you here next time on Grey Matters. Thank you for joining us. Bye for now.